on a Monday. How's everybody doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen? We're chilling on a damn Monday night. Let's talk about some NFL, man. The game tonight, Pittsburgh, Miami. It was kind of fun in the beginning. It was like 7-3 at halftime, but then Pittsburgh completely took over. I think at one point they took a 28-3 lead. Then Miami tried to get back in it. I think the final score was like 28-15, Pittsburgh winning. Um, Miami kind of was being lazy at the end there. I don't think they're going to get back in the game, but it was like 28-9, and Troy Aikman, the commentator, was getting pissed off because, like, go, no huddle. What are you doing? You're wasting almost the entire play clock. Come on. Yeah, Miami, Jesus Christ, man. But anyways, 28-15 was the final score. Pittsburgh wins. First half was good. Second half, Pittsburgh kind of dominated. Obviously, Tua Tagovailoa has always struggled in the cold weather. Um, but let's see what else. So it is confirmed both Micah Parsons and Patrick Mahomes tear their ACLs. Micah Parsons is trying to figure out who's going to get the surgery with. I believe Patrick Mahomes actually flew to Dallas, his hometown, and had the surgery done in Dallas. According to Adam Schefter, Patrick Mahomes already had the surgery less than like 24 hours after having his Achilles teared. He's already had surgery, and the rehab starts right now, man. It's gonna be very interesting to see what the Chiefs do from here, man. It's gonna be very interesting to see what happens, man. Travis Kelce was planning to retire, but now I think some people were saying, well, if you're gonna want his final pass to be Gardner Minshew instead of Patrick Mahomes, and that's kind of man, that sucks for Travis Kelce because if mentally he was prepared to retire this year, and now he's got to think about, do I want to retire without? I don't know. That's kind of stupid to me. I would, if I'm planning to retire, I'm retiring. It's out of my control that my starting quarterback got hurt. I'm sorry, but I don't know. We'll see. Some people think that he might come back next year just because Patrick Mahomes is not going to be able to finish out the season with him, and how it would be a lot more special if Patrick Mahomes were to be the final person to ever threw a pass to Travis Kelce. But we'll see what happens. Then the other one, what's the other one? I was watching. This show always makes me laugh. Jason McIntyre and Colin Cowherd. So today, Jason McIntyre, he said that so first they were talking about Fernando Mendoza, and I don't know if you guys in the chat will want to answer this question. They were pretty much talking about what if I think right now currently the way the draft is, the Giants have the first overall pick. So they were trying to figure out who's better going forward, Jackson Dart or Fernando Mendoza. And I believe they both ended up going Fernando Mendoza. I think they said that Jackson Dart gives them a little bit of like Johnny Manziel vibes, the way he's so stubborn and doesn't listen and he's always spending so much. They're saying that he spends too much time in the blue tent, and how they would obviously consider drafting Fernando Mendoza if they were the Giants. I don't think they're going to do that. My guess is they're going to draft offensive line and other players to help Jackson Dart. I thought they do it. Although Arizona did this years ago, right? They drafted in Chicago. In Chicago, no, Chicago didn't do it, but it was Arizona. They drafted Josh Rosen, I believe, in 2018, and then in 2019 they drafted Kyler Murray, right, back to back. So it has been done in the past. Colin Cowherd said he would do it. He would draft Fernando Mendoza instead of keeping Jackson Dart. I don't know, man. They just said that Fernando Mendoza has a higher ceiling, and they also said he's a lot more mature than Jackson Dart. Who knows? And then Jason McIntyre said that Cincinnati should trade Joe Burrow to Chicago for Caleb Williams. Oh my Lord. Jesus Christ, man. I love Joe Burrow, but he's always hurt. I think in 5 years he's had fucking ACL tear, a fractured hand, a fractured foot. Caleb Williams is getting better and better and better. He's a lot younger. He's cheaper. I don't know Jason McIntyre. Jesus Christ, man. I don't know what the hell he would, but he said he would trade if Joe Burrow would become available this free agency, he would trade him for Chicago for I don't know about that shit, man. But anyways, let's move on. Let's move on. Baseball, we did have some moves today. Josh Bell to the Twins, and freaking and I had a feeling this was gonna happen. He was gonna go to a good team to try to get his confidence back up. Aldasi Garcia goes to the Phillies, man. So now he's gonna be playing with uh Bryce Harper and Kyle Schober. I don't know where they'll put him in the lineup, but I had a feeling he's gonna go to one of these stacked teams, try to get his confidence up. So yeah, it's probably like maybe the Yankees or something like. They end up going to the Phillies. Aldasi Garcia to the Phillies. I believe it's 1 year, $10 million. We'll see if he can get his confidence back up to where it was like in 2023 when he was part of that World Series team in Texas. We'll see. Basketball. I think there was a fun game tonight between Houston and the Nuggets. The Nuggets won in overtime. That's a fun game. I believe both Jokic and both freaking Jokic and what's his name had great games tonight. Şengün, both Jokic and Şengün had great games. It was 128-125. The Nuggets with the W in overtime. I think there was like a controversial call or something. I think they said that Houston should have won the game at the fourth quarter, but Amen Thompson got called for a foul, and it forced overtime. And then the Nuggets just won the game in overtime, 120-125. But I know some people were complaining, saying that the referee screwed the Houston. I don't know. I didn't really watch it. I don't know, guys. I still want to watch more football right now. I know that was a good basketball game, but I'm still a little bit more in. I told my friend, my colleague London Macron, I'm like, I rather watch football because at least I know they're gonna play, right? I never know with basketball with this load managing shit, so I rather watch. At least I know Aaron Rodgers is starting, and everybody else is starting. Where in football, you don't know. Oh, they're gonna bench Durant, they're gonna bench Jamal Murray tonight. He's gonna load manage. So obviously, I'll start watching more basketball once we get into like January, February, March. But right now, I'd rather watch football because at least I know, unless the stars are hurt, they're gonna play. Anyways, but that was definitely like a fun game tonight. Measuring stick right there for Houston. They almost got it in overtime, 120-125, but the Nuggets end up coming away with the W. And then wrestling, obviously more stuff. Bleacher Report, but I don't know because Bleacher has a partnership with AEW, so I don't know how legit this is. They gave the WWE an F on their grade of the whole John Cena retirement tour. They give him an F. But I don't know how you can take this, how serious you can take this, because they do have a partnership with AEW where they show, I believe, some pay-per-views on there. So I don't know. But they give him an F as far as grading the John Cena retirement tour. Also, they're saying some like financial companies said that they see WWE losing potentially somewhere between $50 to $75 million a year without John Cena and the ticket sales and the merchandise. They said don't be surprised if the WWE loses at least $15 million a year. Holy free holidays. We'll see what happens there. A lot of people think WWE is going to be in trouble now without John Cena. We'll see what happens, man. And then I guess they are saying that they invited President Donald Trump. He didn't go, but I think he's like the Secretary of Health. Robert Kennedy went. He was at the show representing, I guess, the administration. I don't really know much about the politics. But anyways, they are saying that Triple H is interested in getting into politics. I don't know how soon that would be and how serious that is. Remember the mother-in-law, Linda McMahon? I believe she ran for either Senate or governor in 10, 15 years ago. So could they now try to do the same thing with Triple H? Obviously, he would have to leave WWE if that's the case. I don't think he could no longer be the chief content officer if he were to run for politics. But I don't know. I don't know how serious that is, and I don't know how soon it would be. But apparently, there's some belief that Triple H is interested in doing something with politics in the future. So something to keep an eye on. Monday Night Raw tonight, man. Let's take obviously right away, just like they did back in when both Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns beat Undertaker, right away. They bring them out there. They boo the shit out of them. Just like remember Paul Heyman would say, my client is the 1-21-1. Same thing here. He kept saying, I made John Cena tap out like a bitch. He said it like 3 times. And then he would act like he was going to leave. He would come back and do it again. So people were getting even more pissed. Then they passed some of the wrestlers backstage being being pissed off at him. What's that fat ass name? Oldest and Tatsuro Tasawa. And then R-Truth, then Adam Pearce says, I had enough of you, you're out tonight. And then as he's getting to his car, AJ Styles is right by his car. And he just says, get in your car. And then he gets in his car and he just goes like this. Are they teasing an AJ Styles Gunther retirement match? Because I believe he's also planning to retire in the future. Holy frijoles. And then you have a fun of good matches. Maxine looking really strong, winning her first match, defending her Intercontinental Champion with submission, in the fucking ankle lock. Asuka sprays Rhea Ripley with the mace. The Kabuki Warriors beat the shit out of Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. What else happened? The Usos, first tag team match in 3 years. They beat the New Day. CM Punk is a really good promo on Braun Breaker. That was a really good promo. Really passionate promo. What else happened? Nikki Bella interferes in the Stephanie Vaquer, Raquel Rodriguez match as Stephanie was defending the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. My guess is maybe they'll do a triple threat. I don't know. A lot of these matches I think they're going to do on the first Raw of the year, which is January 5th. I think they already announced CM Punk defending the world title versus Braun Breaker. And I think the Kabuki Warriors, I think they're defending against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. I wouldn't be surprised if they announce a triple threat match where Stephanie defends against both Nikki and Raquel Rodriguez. I don't know. I think they're gonna treat that show like a pay-per-view type show. That first show of the year on January 5th. And then what if the main event, man, ends up being Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio. Good ass match. It's a good match anytime I feel like Rey and Logan Paul wrestle. Then at the end, the Breakers try to interfere, but they get sent to hell. They get chased down by CM Punk in a steel chair. And then the Max Man appears again. He hits Rey Mysterio with the curse stomp. Logan goes on the frog splash on the top rope and he wins. And then after the match, he's revealed that it's Austin Theory. He shaved his head. Austin Theory's the Masked Man. But the Vision seems confused, so I don't know if he's with the Vision or not. We got to wait and see now. And then CM Punk comes back out. He's trash talking Austin Theory. And then he gets speared by Braun Breaker. And that's the end of the show. Braun Breaker holding on to the World Championship. And that was it. It was a good show. At least they they did some, obviously, they revealed the Masked Man. They already started using the John Cena tapping out thing on Gunther, right? So I think that's what they're going to do now. You're going to have Gunther all the time saying, I'm the man that made John Cena tap out like a bitch. George Tessitore kept mentioning it the whole night. We started the show here with Gunther saying that he made John Cena tap out. So I think it's going to be like when Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania and Paul Heyman kept saying, my client Brock Lesnar is the 1-21-1. I think it's going to be something like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if he also retires Brock Lesnar. I wouldn't be surprised. It looks like Gunther's like the modern day Brock Lesnar in a way, it seems like, ladies and gentlemen. But we'll see what happens. Kind of stupid, though. Why would you have him tap out at WrestleMania to Jey Uso? I still don't get it, right? If you're building this guy up as the modern day Brock Lesnar, why the hell have him tap out? That's the only thing that doesn't make sense to me, right? Everything else looks really good except that. Like, you had him tap out to Jey Uso, but then everything else he's dominated. Like, I don't get it. I'm scratching my ass. I don't even have androids. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have to say for tonight. Have a good night, everybody. I'm out like a light. Holla. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what the fuck is happening?